know, filming on the bed. Not considered a good idea in the YouTube world. Hello to my new subscribers. I want to warn you that this is usually the quality of my videos because outside of TikTok, I really don't know how to edit videos, and I've got an off-brand vlogging camera, which is great in many ways. However, the software that makes the videos doesn't work with many of the easy-to-edit video software programs out there. So, or easy-to-use video programs. I'm hoping someday I can afford a name brand camera so I can actually like do movie reviews and stuff and be able to edit. But in the meantime, what you see is what you get. This is why I don't monetize my videos on YouTube. Now, many of you know I'm on TikTok. I'm actually kind of popular there. I mean, I don't have 100,000 followers or 1 million followers, but I've got almost 1,300. Stuff has just fallen. That's fun. And if you're wondering why I'm wiggling, say hello, Molly. Say hello. I know she doesn't have clothes on like she normally does. The vet said during the daytime for right now, no clothes, which she actually does not want to go outside and go potty because she's so ashamed of being naked. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because of a person on TikTok. She is a militant vegan. And she goes by the username ThatVeganTeacher. And I cannot stand militant vegans. Militant vegans to me are what the Westboro Baptist Church is to Christianity. They make life so much harder for my vegan friends, and my vegan friends get harassment and threats because of the actions of militant vegans like ThatVeganTeacher. She is a very nasty piece of work. Now, I have this woman who I personally call the Fred Phelps of veganism because she's just that vile. I have her blocked, but I see enough of her videos via stitches and duets on TikTok that I just really need to address some of the lies she flat out says. Okay, so first of all, as a sexual assault survivor, you cannot compare artificial insemination to rape. They are nothing alike. They are nothing alike, and if you compare artificial insemination to rape, you are a monster. Period. You are vile and disgusting. Animals in heat want to be pregnant. They want to be pregnant. They don't care how. And in fact, artificial insemination is safer for cows than letting a bull go at them, because the bull will break their bones, leave them with severe abrasions that can have infections, and even kill the cows. Cows have actually died because of a bull going at them. Artificial insemination, it's a quick moment of discomfort that the cow barely notices, and it's done. The other benefit of that is you can get semen. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take it down for me saying that word. You can get semen that has been separated, so you can get nothing but females, or you can get nothing but males, depending on what you want. Where with the bull, you don't have really any control. Now, as far as taking calves away from the mothers, especially in dairy cows, the majority of dairy cows are bad mothers. I know some militant vegans are going to be going, oh, how can they be good mothers if we take their calves away from them at birth? They've always been bad mothers. They've always been bad mothers. They will let their calves starve. They will step on them, and they will otherwise kill them. And despite the videos you see, cows do not mourn their dead. They don't care. They don't care one way or another. Okay? They're just ready to move on to some grass or some sweet feed, whatever they want. They don't give a hoot about their dead calves. This whole nonsense about cows chasing after the trucks and stuff, that's bull. That's a lie. Cows do not care. All right? Male calves are not sold for veal at birth. First of all, there's not enough meat on them to sell them as veal. All right? So not only are calves taken away so they actually survive and get food, but they don't get sold at birth for veal. Male calves are usually at some point when they're old enough castrated and turned into steers because bulls are very hard to deal with. Talk to any dairy farmer, they will tell you how violent bulls can be. Then they're raised until they're weaned, and they might be sold to a beef farmer, or they might actually be trained to pull carts and stuff. There are cattle farmers, dairy farmers that do that. They will train their steers to pull carts and give rides to people, just like a horse that pulls a cart. So no, they're not sold for veal at birth. They're not thrown into a ditch and left starving to death. A lot of those photos you see of proof of calves being slaughtered at birth, they're miscarriages, or they're calves that were killed by their own mothers before the farmer could separate them and save the calf. So that's a complete lie that militant vegans tell. Regular vegans, good, decent vegans like my friends, know that all of that is a lie. All right? Another lie of that vegan teacher that she tells is that people who aren't vegan won't go to heaven. Okay, so here's the thing. Taking the Lord's name in vain doesn't actually mean saying curse words. It actually means putting words into God's mouth, like saying, oh, God hates gay people. Actually, he doesn't. He doesn't. I have made a video on TikTok that is very popular about why Jesus Christ is actually a LGBTQA plus ally. And I have since then found out that the verse that a lot of Christians use to denounce homosexuals, it actually originally said not to sleep with a boy. Not to sleep with a boy, as in a child. So that verse before the 1940s actually was saying don't be a pedophile. And Sodom and Gomorrah, they were destroyed because the men there were rapists. And on another subject of a verse that's been changed, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, actually reads, thou shalt not suffer a poisoner to live. King James, who is gay himself, had that changed to justify his ungodly witch hunts. So God doesn't care if you're gay. God doesn't care if you're a witch. God just doesn't want you to be a pedophile, a rapist, or a murderer. So when people do stuff like that, that is taking the Lord's name in vain. When you are putting words into God's mouth, you are committing the sin of taking the Lord's name in vain. That vegan teacher, by saying that God sends meat eaters to hell, is taking God's name in vain. Period. She's taking God's name in vain. Hello, the whole Cain versus Abel thing, the whole thing started because God preferred Abel's meat offering to Cain's vegan offering. Please don't scratch yourself while I'm making videos. I know you're very itchy, but no scratching while I'm making videos. So, yeah, God is not going to send you to hell for eating meat. Maybe if you were a cannibal, since that's breaking the 6th commandment of thou shalt not kill, but definitely not going to send you to hell for eating a steak or a slice of bacon, you know? I mean, it even says in the Bible that he gave us everything to eat, including the animals, you know? Do I think some animals are personally off limits? Yeah. I mean, there's some animals I feel that definitely it would be wrong to eat them, but cows, chickens, I don't eat pork because it makes me violently ill when I eat it. I always tell people I'm allergic, but my reaction is actually similar to being lactose intolerant or having celiacs, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's an intolerance to gluten. But, you know, pigs, wild animals like deer, moose, elk, rabbit, those are all fine to eat. You know, um, they were given to us by God to eat. You know. So yeah, that's another one of her lies. She also forces her dog to be on a vegan diet. Now, I just had this argument, and I finally had to block them. I had to have this argument with a vegan in the comments section of Mike Jevon's YouTube videos when he went vegan for a week. If you don't know him, he's a YouTuber, British, and he will do these week-ons, like week on vegan, week on this diet, week on that diet, well, week on eating only KFC, and stuff like that. He actually got an article written about him because he did a week on McDonald's, and he actually lost weight instead of gained it, like that fake documentary. Should call it a mockumentary, Super Size Me. That thing has been completely debunked, and people still follow it. And that's another militant vegan. That's just like, because that guy in there, he's a militant vegan, and yet he eats McDonald's for, whatever, and just completely fakes his results, like if he's the Andrew Wakefield of McDonald's. I hate the fact that because these people exist, my vegan friends get threats and nastiness. But like I said, she feeds her dog a vegan diet. That is animal abuse, bar none. If you feed a meat-eating animal, an animal that needs meat, like a dog or a cat, a vegan or vegetarian diet, you are abusing them. It's exactly the same, morally speaking, as if you were forcing them to participate in dog fights or if you were beating them. It is morally the same. Dogs and cats need meat to be healthy. They need meat to be healthy. Look at this. Look at this girl. Look at this healthy girl. And she's got a few little skin allergies. A lot of dogs do. But look in the camera, you camera shy little thing. She eats meat. She is a healthy dog. She bounces around this house like if she's a puppy, even though she's a senior citizen. Her eyes are clear. Even though because for those of you that don't know, Molly was a stray before I adopted her. So she wasn't cared for at first, so she did lose some teeth because of her prior life, but she hasn't lost any teeth since because I always brush them and clean them, and I feed her a healthy diet, which includes meat. This is a healthy dog. Where you see these vegan dogs and they're scrawny and their eyes are dull and they look miserable. Give that poor dog some hamburger, people. And an animal cannot consent to being on a vegan diet. They cannot consent to being on a vegan diet. They can't say to you, hey, I want to be vegan. So yes, it is animal abuse to feed your dog or cat vegan. Even pure herbivores, as people think of them, like rabbits and cows and deer, they eat meat. Cows are known to chomp down on baby birds. They find a baby bird in the grass, they're going to eat it. Same thing with deer. You can find a number of YouTube videos in which deer will capture a bird and eat it. They will eat a live bird that's just bouncing around in the grass. Deer have also been found to be eating corpses in the forest. Some of those teeth marked from animals on human remains found in the forest, they're from deer. They're actually from deer. Rabbits will eat meat. So there is no such thing as a pure vegan animal. Of course, we all know that chickens will catch mice and eat them. So we have this person. She's, like I said, she's horrible. She compares farming animals to slavery. I'm sorry. They're nothing alike, and it's very, very, very racist. Very racist to try to compare the life of a human being who was enslaved because of the color of their skin to the life of a cow. That is so racist. You might as well be wearing a pointed white hood and white sheets and be burning crosses on people's yards if you say crap like that. She claims that she supports gay people, but then says, why aren't you vegan? And tries to compare being a meat eater to oppressing gay people. Well, that's homophobic right there. That's completely homophobic. You know, she has belittled and bullied and harassed disabled people. You know, that is completely wrong. That is ableist. That is nasty. She is a vile person, and TikTok really should ban her. Like I said, she is the Fred Phelps of veganism. And on behalf of all my vegan friends, I would very much like to punch her in the face. Now, I'm sure she would say some nasty things about me, claiming that I'm diabetic or what have you. Because a lot of anti-vaxxers actually try to say that I'm diabetic. Well, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is one of the reasons why I'm fat. PCOS actually makes women fat. And yes, it does make me more predisposed to diabetes, but I'm under the care of an endocrinologist. And I get blood work done every 3 months before seeing him. I am nowhere close to being diabetic. I am not even pre-diabetic. So I'm not diabetic. And yes, I have allergies, and I have PCOS, and I have anemia, which means I need to eat meat. I am actually under doctor's orders to eat meat. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's in perfect health. But I am not diabetic at all. You know, like I said, a lot of anti-vaxxers try to claim that about me. You know, I have my issues with them. And if she wants to focus on an issue, or any militant vegan wants to focus on an issue, instead of focusing on all this nonsense saying that we're going to go to hell for eating meat or trying to compare artificial insemination to rape, why don't you focus on the anti-vaxxers who are giving veganism a bad name by going around and claiming that veganism can cure things like autism, cancer, and even homosexuality and transgenderism. That's right, anti-vaxxers are saying this. See, they believe this stupid myth that there is fetal DNA in vaccines. Now, yes, there was 2 vaccines, only 2, and I can't remember if it was Jeff Holiday or Miles Power who covered this, or maybe both of them covered this. There was 2 vaccines that were developed using fetal cells from 2 medical abortions done in the 1960s. Even the Catholic Church is okay with that because of how many lives vaccines save. But there is no fetal DNA in vaccines. But you can't convince an anti-vaxxer of this, even though it's a fact. And they will say that if a boy gets one with too much girl DNA in it, he's going to become gay or trans or both, and vice versa for a girl. And then they go around and claim, but if you feed them a raw, organic, vegan diet, it'll detox the foreign DNA in their system, and they'll become straight or cisgendered. There is no cure for homosexuality or transgenderism because there's nothing wrong with being gay or trans. It's just how you're born, and it has nothing to do with vaccines. So if people like that vegan teacher actually want to focus on an issue, focus on that instead. Start debunking these idiots who are going around being all like Kat Von D. Oh, vaccines aren't vegan, and they'll turn my child into a gay autistic Satanist. Focus on that instead. Stop focusing on your lies. Your flat-out lies about the dairy industry. Because here's another thing about the dairy industry that vegans won't tell you. I should say militant vegans won't tell you. An unhappy cow produces less milk than a happy cow. So that's why you see them putting things like balls and stuff out for cows to play with, because it makes them happy and then they produce more milk. Another thing that you're not being told is that you don't have to get a cow pregnant every single year to continue getting milk from them. As long as you keep milking that cow, you only have to get the cow pregnant once. One calf, and that's it. Just milk them every single day for the rest of their life until their quality of life is really bad and you have to send them to be humanely slaughtered. They will continue giving milk. Yes, it will taper off a bit and become a certain steady stream rather than the gallons and gallons and gallons they make, because cows make more milk than they can feed one calf with. I know, I follow this one person on Tumblr. Her blog is called Dairy Isn't Scary, and she owns a few cows. She wants to be a dairy farmer someday, but she doesn't have the resources yet. But she owns a couple of cows, and one of them, Sweet Tea, has been able to foster up to 4 calves on just one pregnancy at a time. And unlike the other cows that she's being housed with, Sweet Tea is actually unusual in that she's a good mother, because she's actually known to go feed other cows' calves. While the other cows are refusing to feed their own newborns, Sweet Tea is right there adopting the newborns. So, you know, that's a fact that you're not being told. And now I've just debunked it for you. You don't have to get a cow pregnant every single year to continue getting milk from them. And this is something that I pointed out, because that vegan teacher will wear a shirt saying, "Fake leather, real vegan." Well, I'm very sorry, but vegan leather and vegan fur is just plastic. You'll hear these lies about how there's vegan leather made out of plant materials. There isn't. They're working on it, but there is currently no vegan leather made out of plants. It's all plastic. It barely lasts 2 years, if that. It releases tons of microplastics into the environment, and it does not biodegrade. Real fur and real leather can last generations. They can last, if you take care of them, they will last generations. They don't release plastic into the environment, and when they're no longer good, they are completely biodegradable. They are completely biodegradable. About the only thing you might have left is the metal buttons. That's about it. And even those will rust away in time. So real fur and real leather from farms, and despite what you hear, mink farms actually use the whole mink. They turn the fur, they take the fur off to make into coats and stoles and lined boots and stuff like that. But they also will use the bodies to produce mink oil, and they will use the rest to turn into organic fertilizer. Where do you think your bone meal and blood meal comes from? It comes from farms, like mink farms and cattle ranches and stuff. So, you know, the whole animal is used. So, fur and leather from farms and fur and leather from legally hunted animals is better for the environment than vegan leather and vegan fur, because vegan is plastic and the other is real. So that's another thing that I'd like to debunk about her. She's destroying the environment by wearing vegan leather. You know, if she would actually cared about the environment, she would wear real leather and real fur. And in fact, I had actually pointed this out as far as Disney villains are concerned. The only thing that makes Cruella de Vil a villain is the fact that she wanted to make coats out of puppies. Now, we know that invasive animal species like the rabbits down in Australia and New Zealand, because they are not native and they are invasive, they do tons of destruction to the environments down there. And there is invasive boa constrictors because of irresponsible snake owners in the Florida Everglades that are doing tons of damage to the environment in the Florida Everglades. So if Cruella de Vil was to go down to Australia and make herself a few hundred rabbit fur coats, and then go to Florida and make herself some boa constrictor skin shoes, purses, suits, she'd be a hero, not a villain. In fact, when you think about it, Roger and Anita are the true villains, because they basically end up running a puppy mill with their Dalmatian plantation. But that's beside the point. So, yeah, like this is mainly about that vegan teacher and militant vegans in general. And I'm stressing militant vegans because, like I said, they make life so hard for decent vegans. I've got friends that get threats from people who don't realize that my friends don't really care whether or not you eat meat. They just choose not to themselves for religious reasons. I've got vegan friends that are religious, or because they have allergies that really restrict their diet to a vegan diet. And you got people like that vegan teacher who are making all vegans look bad by being this nasty, vile, racist, homophobic, ableist, dog-abusing monster. And I'm sure she's probably, if she ever sees this, I'm sure she's probably going to say that she's going to sue me or anything, but then the truth will come out. And besides, I'm broke. I have no money. I just had to, spend a lot of money to get this little girl examined because of her skin allergies and because she needed her rabies booster. We're both up to date on our vaccines. She's had her rabies booster, and I've had my flu shot. Because we are pro-vaccine in this house. Because vaccines save lives. I love you so much. I love you so much. And for those of you who normally see her in clothing, the vet said, only clothing at night. I think I said that already. I don't know. I had to restart this video because my battery died. So I can't remember what I said. But yeah, the vet said only clothing at nighttime for right now until certain things clear up. Because, it traps all the moisture into the skin. And she does not even want to go outside to go potty. She's so ashamed. She wants her clothing on. If I wish I could get a video, but she's so doggone camera shy. I wish I could get a video, though, of how happy she gets when I pull out a dress or a shirt. She's wiggling all over the place and can hardly wait to get it on. I love you so much. I love you so very, very, very much. And I would never, ever put you on a vegan diet because dogs need meat. Dogs need meat. Put you down now. Alright, so I think I've rambled and debunked that monster enough. Like I said, I'm completely broke, so suing me would do her no good. And all it would actually do is cause her to lose her dog. Because she would end up being charged with animal abuse and neglect and have her dog taken away from her. I hope and pray that one day TikTok gets on the ball and bans her. She does not deserve a platform. She makes other vegans look terrible. She makes life harder for my vegan friends and other vegans that I admire. Because there are vegans that I love to watch on this YouTube channel. And because of people like that vegan teacher, they get treated like crap. Like I said, she is the Fred Phelps of veganism. And militant vegans are to veganism what the Westboro Baptist Church is to Christianity. Just like they make all Christians look bad, militant vegans make all vegans look bad. And it's time that they were put in their place. Thank you.